You ever had someone mess with your food? Not just once, but every single day, like clockwork. 6 days in a row, I worked 12-hour shifts with nothing to eat. Not because I forgot to pack lunch, but because someone kept stealing it. So I stopped packing lunch and started planning revenge. Let's just say, the thief took the bait. And the bait took them straight to the ER. If you've ever been disrespected, underestimated, or just plain robbed of something that was yours, this one's for you. Hit that like button, subscribe for more dark justice stories, and buckle in. Because this time, karma came with a side of steak fajitas and Carolina Reapers. 3 years ago, I was working in this massive factory. 5 temp agencies. Hundreds of rotating employees. No names. No familiar faces. Just a blur of uniforms and clipboards. Honestly, it felt more like a conveyor belt than a job. And in all that chaos, one thing should have been sacred: your lunch. Except it wasn't. The first time it happened, I figured it was a mistake. Maybe someone confused their Tupperware with mine. I even double-checked the fridge. Maybe I forgot it at home? Nope. Gone. Day 2? Same thing. A full container of leftovers vanished. By the 4th day, the frustration turned physical. I could feel my stomach turning, that tight, angry pit of hunger mixed with rage. 12-hour shifts, and I was running on coffee and resentment. By day 6, I was on the edge. I started watching the fridge like a hawk, timing everyone's break, listening for any rustling of lids. But the thief was a ghost. No crumbs. No mess. No one ever saw a thing. That's when the plotting began. And I wasn't thinking cute prank. I wasn't putting hot sauce on a sandwich like it was middle school. No, I needed something biblical. So I went shopping. I picked up Carolina Reapers, some of the hottest peppers on earth. And not that gimmick heat, either. I'm talking about peppers that make grown men cry, cough, sweat, pass out. I didn't just want to burn their tongue. I wanted regret. I wanted fear. That night, I went full gourmet. Steak fajitas, seared to perfection. Onions, peppers, garlic, cilantro, a squeeze of lime. And then, the masterpiece, a homemade pico de gallo infused with minced Reaper peppers. It looked harmless, bright, fresh, delicious. But every bite? A Molotov cocktail. I packed it carefully in clear Tupperware, garnished it like I was plating it for a food magazine. This meal was bait, and I wanted it to be irresistible. The next morning, I placed it in the fridge an hour before lunch. Then I waited. About halfway through the shift, a sound echoed through the factory break room. Screaming. I sprinted down the corridor, and what I saw next burned into my memory. One of the newer hires, a woman I barely recognized, was on the floor, gasping, eyes watering, face red. Her whole body was trembling. A few coworkers were huddled around, panicking. She was having a full-blown asthma attack. Paramedics were called. Turns out, the Reaper peppers triggered a severe reaction. She had swiped my lunch, scarfed it down in secret, and her body had instantly rebelled. Her throat started closing up, and within minutes, she collapsed. They rushed her to the hospital. She lived, thankfully, and she never said a word about it. Neither did I. Not to HR. Not to management. Not to anyone. But the lunch thefts? They stopped. Overnight. Like magic. And somehow, everyone knew. Climactic revenge payoff, 10:30 to 11:30, she thought she could keep taking. That no one would notice. That no one would care. But when you steal from someone who has nothing left to lose but their patience, you're not just taking a sandwich. You're inviting a reckoning. One pepper-filled bite at a time. G. Reflective wrap-up, 11:30 to 12 o'clock. Sometimes, revenge doesn't come with yelling or fights. Sometimes, it comes chilled in a Tupperware container and hits harder than words ever could. Respect people. And more importantly, don't touch what's not yours. H. OUTRO Call to Action, 12 to 12:25. If this story lit your petty soul on fire, hit that like button. And tell us in the comments, what would you do if someone kept stealing your lunch? Subscribe for more stories where karma doesn't just knock, it kicks the door down.